Hello everyone, welcome. This is Crystal Cubis here with Fireheart Global, and as you know, we are on a super mission. Fireheart Global's mission is to help inspire and give you the tools to ignite passion, shed fear, and step into power. So I'm very, very excited because today I bring you a special guest, Miss Julianne Wormuth. Welcome.
Thank you.
Julie and I have just spent, we just got done doing a session, and I said, do you want to hop on camera and play with me here? And she's bold, so she's being very, very bold. Julie and I got to know each other over social media. And then she reached out to me, and it's so fun when I get to meet my viewers in person. And so, yeah, if you are out there, reach out too. Don't hesitate. Right? So not only is, I want Julie to talk about herself, but the reason I bring her to you today is because I consider her one of the biggest experts I've ever met at living victoriously. So I'm gonna let her tell you why. Right?
Thank you, Crystal. I feel very blessed and honored to, like you had said, over social media. Over 2 years ago, I was in a very dark place in my life. I had just had an optic brain tumor removed, and I had asked God to the universe, please keep me safe, green, and positive energy. Well, through the social media, as I have a little bit of a problem with right now, I saw you there, and I would say, what is this girl? You know, how does she do that? And on the, on your phone, you were just on your phone, and I'm like, how can she do that? I can barely stand in front of the mirror and look at myself. And that was before 2 years ago, before I had this palsy that was it was something that could happen and did happen. This severed this seventh facial nerve.
Well, coming to give my listeners a little bit of background so we can tie this together. You have, what do you?
I have a genetic disorder that I was born with, but we did not find out until I was 42. It's called neurofibromatosis. There are 3 types. It's type 1, type 2, and they don't call it type 3, but it's squamous. Okay. And that's what I've been diagnosed with, squamous. I've had 7 tumors removed in 35 years. The first one started in 1998. I had 3 removed from my spinal cord. And they told me to get ready and to just be healthy, but to get ready for more to come. And 2 years ago, that's when this happened.
Now, there was a time during all of this that they only gave you a few days to live, right?
2 years ago, I went to my ophthalmologist for a yearly checkup, which actually was a little late. And he said, what is going on? And because he could see this, I guess there was some compression and swelling in the eye, pupils in the eyeball, or the retina. And I said, I don't know, I've been going to the doctor, and I've got these headaches, and I fall down, and I got this loud noise in my head, and it won't go away. So he sent me to another specialist that very same day.
Yeah.
And I was there, and I just loved, should I mention them? I don't want to give any words, but the Sarasota Retina Institute, Dr. Levy, I went and saw 9 different people, and I was like,
and he was your man?
Yeah.
He was your man.
Well, that day I was seeing 9 different, doing 9 different tests, and it started at 10 o'clock in the morning, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, are you the doctor? Are you the doctor? No. And I said, what is the doctor going to do when he sees me? He pops his head around the corner, and he says, I heard that. I'm next. So he came in, and he explained to me what was going on with the tumor being on the optic nerve was causing pressure and causing all this swelling and headaches, and he said, we need you to go to the hospital right now. And I'm like, what for? He says, well, the way it looks right now, it's 3 to 5 days that you have to live. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm fine. I've just got some headaches and I fall down sometimes, but I get back up. And I think that's what really is my driving force. It's like, I'm not going to fall down and stay down. I went through that. I was in ICU for a week because they said they had to let the swelling go down on my brain.
Yeah.
And I was driving the ICU nurses a little bit nuts, not because I needed anything, but because I was too independent. I was doing things too much on my own, the bathroom and taking my IV and, you know, fixing my own pillow and all this stuff.
It's like that warrior spirit.
Right.
Was this
They were like, you know, dear, we're supposed to be helping you with these things. And I said, I'm fine. I can do this myself. And that's kind of been a little bit of an inhibitor all my life. I can do it myself.
Let me ask you this. You were the one that said to me the 2 words about living victoriously. Now, what does that mean to you? For everyone out there that may be going through, I mean, this is just a tiny tidbit of your story. She's been through tremendous things. But if you're anybody out there that's really struggling with a little bit of, what does living victoriously mean to you, I guess?
It didn't even really dawn on me until when I saw you on social media and reaching out and trying to find the good energy and the good vibration. And then living victoriously, to me, possibly means to walk alone, but you possibly will have to walk alone and then to be okay that you know you might be alone. And that's going to be okay. But at the same time, it kind of inhibits you because you feel like I'm not meant to be alone. And reaching out to you was like that block kept coming up into my life again, and I don't want that. Even though I didn't die when they told me I was supposed to, I don't want to die knowing, because it is the only given that I'm offered in this body as a human being.
Right.
It is the only given that in life that you are given is death. But it doesn't have to be the end.
Right. And all of you know out there, this whole idea about igniting your passion and learning to shed fear and step into power. We just got done, if I may, with a session that was filled with I wish you could have all been there, because what Julie and I uncovered in this are so many similarities that we actually have. Our lives have been very different, but I said, would you please get on camera with me, because we want to talk to you about something that's really near and dear to, I know, both of our hearts, and you'll hear me say it, and that is living with this fierce love that comes out, that doesn't let anything stop you. To me, she was an example. Even before I met her, I could hear her voice on the phone. I said, I gotta get this woman on camera. I have to, because there's a spirit that I could hear. And I think a lot of us feel this spirit on the inside. That whatever it is, no matter the ups and the downs, it's something inside that refuses to die. That light that craves wind and craves freedom, and so Julie and I got to talk about this idea of fierce love, and we both discovered that, like many of you out there, we were both and have been absolutely riddled with a variety of forms of self-hatred, of destroying the body in multiple forms of addictions, you name it. And so that's kind of what we wanted to bring to you today, is our thoughts on this a little bit more as well. Not only is this idea live victoriously, but when that that self-love clicks into place, it's a whole different story. I don't know. Julie, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I am very uncomfortable on the camera.
And I love you here for that. Thank you. Thank you.
But that's one thing I was like, I've always been uncomfortable. I'm always the one that, oh, let's get a group picture. Well, I'll hold the camera. I'll take the picture. So this is very uncomfortable for me as far as that. But the fierce love that you had me realize today is that I am a vibration of light, of being. Even though I was told, it's like I'm not going to be told anything, especially that I'm dying, but I was dying, and not from that. Even after that's been released, you understand what I'm going.
That was if this is what you were saying before, is that even though all of this has happened to you with tumors and brain surgery and everything, that you were dying even before that because of being stuck, because of being like not free on the inside, right?
The thing that I think that my problem was is that validation of others, validations of family that could not be there, validation of men, marriages, multiple marriages that failed, and then validation of my children. I love them dearly, but I don't need to be validated by them to be the woman that I desire to be, the woman of dignity, the woman of survival, the woman of to thrive. I like what we were sharing earlier of tapping into the how did you do it? Like our antenna, we zap out there to the antenna to draw in the energy and then to let go.
Right.
I have a history, or I have a background, and I love yoga, but I haven't tapped into it. I let that die. I'm one of these type of people that, okay, if I get this done and that done and this done, I can do yoga now. I'll get the mat out. Oh, I gotta go, take care of the dishes. I gotta go take care of their dog. I gotta finish painting the trim in the room, and then I'll get to the yoga. But it all starts like that saying is, you cannot take care of no one else unless you take care of this. And it's more than just the skin and the muscle of the working out. It's taking care of this light or this heart inside.
Yes.
Not just from a medical standpoint, but from that spiritual standpoint.
Right. I'm often on camera talking about very simple ways that we can do that, because when we're encompassed with our problems, the world becomes, we move very myopically, where we're unable to connect with each other, or we forget to connect into the earth, or we forget to really connect with fuel in different ways. So we try to get it from others, but because even if like that self-hatred is clicked off, or it's on very loudly, or the self-love is clicked off, it's impossible for us to open back up because we're not connected to ourselves. And so much of what I love about you is your bravery. It is that courage. It is that woman that says, hey, this is where I am, and this is where I want to go, So for everybody out there that's kind of struggling, know that this is a common thing right now for many of us, right? Yeah.
There's so much uncertainty of the world. It's like we don't even have a chance to process the worldly things.
Yep.
And to process in our mind and then let it settle with our heart, and then some other tragedy will happen.
Now,
and that to me invites a old habit to come back, which would be addiction. And with my drug and alcohol addiction, it is so easy to convert back to that. But I don't want to say I'm rise above, I'm better than, but I am not settling for that.
Yeah.
I'm not settling, okay, this is going on, this is not working, I'm not going to pick up that drink or drug because I've been labeled as some programs will
Right.
call you. And I'm not to be that. I am a child of a being God, a God that lives around us and is for us.
And within, wouldn't you
Yes.
say, right?
Yes.
Julie and I got to speaking about how when, from the very beginning, we're not really taught always who we are. That you're bad, or be quiet, and all this, and that essence, that the freedom here gets covered up. And when we're trapped inside of ourselves, that's where a lot of the self-destruction comes from. That's where a lot of, so when we talk about fierce love, it's really about going, wait a minute, judgment. Oh, you're looking in the mirror. I know that you're nervous, but I love that you're on camera, because you're saying to all the people out there that may be nervous of how they look or that they don't think they're good enough, and you're going, hey, look, if I can do it, you can do it, right? A lot of my viewers say to me, oh, you got nothing to worry about. They don't know the years of absolute self-sabotage and destruction with my body,
A gentleman came to talk to me, and he asked me, he said, I need to talk to someone. And I said, sure. And he says, I'm thinking about checking out. And I'm like, really? And just how do you plan on doing that? And he was speaking of suicide. And I didn't even know that was a question that you do ask a suicide participant or whatever, that's what you do. And he told me, I don't know, jump off. I said, oh, well, you really don't got a plan. So then what is your reason for doing this? Because I got a broken down car, and I got financial, and I got this, and I got that. And I said, have you looked in the mirror lately? I said, you got this? And he looks at me, no. And I said, you got 2 feet? You got 2 legs? Have they put a paintbrush in your mouth and you're painting a piece of art because you can't use your hands yet? I mean, because that's where I can still go. I can still be inhibited in that way, and I'll choose.
Well, let me ask you this, because, you have been through a tremendous amount in a lot of ways that people aren't. But I know that even though some people haven't been through what you've been through, they're sitting at home and they feel like they don't want to live anymore. So what would you say to them? Like, what would you say to them?
I think humor is definitely where I had to find it. And it goes, and thank goodness for some that we have lost, like Robin Williams and other great actors, or even people. I've had suicide that's run rampant in my life. Cousins, my grandfather. And I wake up every morning, and whatever day it would be, is shouted as loud as I can, good morning, Saturday. And that helps me get the vibration going for myself, and then to get up and then to head in. I used to think that I live alone. I've been alone for 6 years now, and that's fine. And I thought I was lonely, but I'm not alone. I have myself. I have that inner child that I guess refuses to grow up, I like to say.
Yeah. You have one of those? I have one of those too.
And then sometimes I have to put on a timeout. But I'm not going to say it's not a struggle. It is a struggle. It is a daily struggle. But I think the whole purpose is not to give up. And for me, it is been able to getting past that a little bit, refusing to be told I was going to die. You're not going to tell me.
Right.
You're not going to, and then, but, I don't know, stick with this.
No, it's okay. I think that thank you for everything you're sharing.
Yeah.
And this is something that you're getting to see us being works in progress out loud is basically what you're getting to see. You know, I'm a firm believer that we are a masterpiece and a work in progress all at the same time. So, you know, what I might say to that is that what I see run across the board, guised in all different shapes, sizes, and outfits, is that we want freedom. There's a certain thing inside that just wants to be able to breathe and be, and through upbringings, or you know, the kind of like imprints or stuff we, you know, came in with, or beliefs that we have now, we're trapped. And I believe that it's not our time to be trapped. I believe that it's our time to be free. Fire Heart is about opening up and finding a love greater than you've ever had before. It's being able to go, hey, I have a body that's made up of earth, maybe some of the same stuff as stardust and ocean water, and like there's a reason why when I go outside it feels really good. So I better connect with that. And there's a reason why sometimes I'm filled with inspiration, or I just know things even though people say I'm nuts, or I get there. I better connect with that. And there's a reason why every day I'm still waking up, because if I was supposed to be here, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be. And I'm still waking up, and even though I may not understand why the heck I'm here, I'm going to get curious as to why. Right? So that fierce love goes, hey, judgment that, you know, has said to me my whole life, you know, that I'm ugly, or I don't deserve to be here, I don't deserve to take up space, I don't deserve to be loved. That judgment and that fear, you can kiss my ass, right? And take the back seat, because I know your voices very, very well, and frankly, your voices bore me, because you've been with me my whole life, and I don't know, thank you. And it's that desire for something more that goes, give it to me, right? Like
living victoriously.
Yes, that desire that goes, you know what, I may be happy Saturday, I'm here, let's go find out why. Or, oh, I feel horrible, all right, then let's do something about it. And, oh, I don't like who I'm around, okay, then who do I want to be around? You know, what would feel good right now? We are a world that has stepped out of our power. And the reason I bring you Julie is because she has the courage to say, this is where I'm at, but this is how I am stepping in. And this is what I've learned so far in a life that could have beaten and has beaten many down. And she's like, no, And I love that about you. I love it. You know, it's like, thank you so much for coming and having the courage to be on camera to say, this is who I am and I'm uncomfortable. But what an example you are to everyone else out there right now. You know, so anyway, that I can help you. If you have comments and questions for Julie or myself, feel free to send a message this way. If there's any way that either one of us can help you, let us know. You can watch this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go to crystalcubist.com and sign up for more information, or make sure you get the latest videos. I don't know when you're going to be watching this one in particular. So, is there any final thoughts that you want to leave them with? Anything that you would love to say to the world?
I know for myself, connecting with nature is what I need to do. I love gardening. And it's not digging with a shovel, and it's just taking a little plant and making it home. And then not every day I get up and I don't accessorize. I mean, there are days, there's going to be messy hair days, pajama days, and thank you, I've allowed myself to do that. I used to hate it when it sunshined. Even before 2 years ago, I would love the rain. Please just let it rain for days, God. Just let it rain for days, because I would have an excuse to stay in that messiness.
Yep.
Shout it out.
Shout it out.
Shout it out. Get it out. Tell it to go away. like Crystal told me today, take the back seat.
Judgment and fear. Your voice is just ugh.
You know, the driving force is living victoriously, and
maybe not knowing, would you say, sometimes what's next, but going, I want a better version of life, and I'm gonna find out what that is. There is something that drives us, and I think us trusting in that to tune in and listen is the way to go. So.
I mean, I thought it was pretty awesome that I met this nice, wonderful woman, and we had some parallels. We both kind of like getting greasy.
Oh yeah, wait. Okay, I know the video is just about to end here, but consider this your PS, right? So wait, you were a grandfather. Your grandfather was a fisherman.
Yes.
You grew up fishing.
I like to call myself a rare find. I'm a Florida native. A Florida native and a rare find of a jewel. A rare find of a Florida jewel.
You're a Florida jewel.
And I'm a fisherman's granddaughter. And
well, I'm an auto body man's granddaughter. So hey, we can both rebuild carburetors for you. Wouldn't you say?
Twofold, manifold. Two-choke.
There you have it, folks. We're gonna cut this for today. Julianne, thank you so much for joining us and for having the courage. It's a pleasure, absolute pleasure. Mwah.